Is Black Ops 1 worth buying in the year 2025? Watch till the end to find out. Black Ops 1 is divided into 3 subsections: campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. And a portion of this video will also be dedicated to the DLC aspect of the game. Black Ops 1's campaign takes place in 1961 all the way through to 1968, during both the Cold War era and the Vietnam War. Black Ops 1 also has serious ties into World at War in both the campaign story and zombies. So if you want to get most out of the Black Ops universe story lore, I would go back and play World at War. I would also subscribe to this YouTube channel. In Black Ops 1, you play as Alex Mason, a CIA officer that has been brainwashed, and the story revolves around finding out information from Alex through shock therapy. And everything Alex Mason sees may not necessarily be real, so it's about uncovering the truth and what actually happens in the story. Some notable side characters will be Frank Woods and Jason Hudson. For a majority of these missions, you'll be playing alongside these characters, and you'll get to know them pretty well over the 7-hour runtime of the Black Ops 1 campaign. A lot may think 7 hours for a campaign isn't that long, but for a COD campaign, sometimes it's better that way. Since the older COD campaigns were very much inspired by action movies, it only kind of makes sense to condense the story a little bit. When the campaign studios try too much, you'll get a Black Ops 3 situation, and we want to avoid that. Overall, what are my thoughts and opinions on the Black Ops 1 campaign? Well, out of the 6 games, yeah, that's right, 6 Black Ops games that we have now, it's probably definitely in the top 3. It might not have all the bells and whistles the newer games have with better graphics and better movement, but there's something so classic about Black Ops 1 and enjoyable that the newer CODs just won't be able to replicate anytime soon. Black Ops 1 and 2's story felt very consistent with each other, with the other installments like Cold War and Black Ops 6 not necessarily having bad stories. Definitely feels more filler and an afterthought. But should you buy Black Ops 1 just for the campaign? In my honest opinion, if you're trying to catch up with story stuff, it's not a bad campaign to play. And on the multiple occasions I've played through the campaign, I have enjoyed myself. And considering you can find the game fairly cheap for a console anyway, for like £1.50 in your local CEX, that's less than a movie ticket. That's how I kind of judge these campaigns and stories. If I'm going to pay £5 to see a movie for an hour and a half or 2 hours, then paying £1.50 for a game that has 7 hours worth of story that I already know is going to be a pretty good story is definitely worth it. And you're not buying it just for the story, you're also buying it for the multiplayer. So personally for me, for a COD game to be decent, it comes down to 4 factors. First of all, the overall feeling of the game, and then most importantly, the guns, the maps, and the kill streaks. Black Ops 1 does have a good variety of old-fashioned weapons, and overall most guns in this game are relatively usable. Treyarch used to be really good at balancing guns in the older games, and it made it so you could stand your ground with pretty much any weapon in the game, maybe bar the China Lake, because that is an awful weapon to have. But the amount of variety that the guns offer are really good, and along with the class system where you can choose your gun and customize it to what you see fit. You can change the color of your reticles if you want. You have a very nice selection of lethal and tactical equipment. You have a good selection of perks, along with some really nice looking camouflages that are very easy to earn with in-game currency. And this was before the whole microtransaction shift, so this currency is only earnable in-game by playing the game. For the maps, this game has a really good selection of maps. Before DLC, this game has 14 maps, and it's kind of hard to name a bad one. I mean, in terms of bad maps, you got Cracked that comes to mind. But in terms of good maps, you have WMD, you have Villa, Summit, Nuketown, Launch, Jungle, Havana, Firing Range. They just really don't make COD maps like this anymore. In terms of kill streaks, you have everything from spy planes to gunships, with one of my personal favorite kill streaks being the attack dogs, where you call in a little army of dogs that will go around hunting people. Overall, the kill streaks in this game are very rewarding, but they're not completely broken, and the kill streaks in this game make the gameplay pretty balanced. Don't get me wrong, if you're getting stomped, you're getting stomped. But if you are a half-decent player, you should be able to get out of any bad situations you find yourself in. Now, with all the core values of this game looking pretty good, the one negative would have to be the player base. It's very hard to find lobbies. I went on Xbox One to try and find lobbies, which you're probably most likely to find lobbies just because Xbox One obviously has backwards compatibility with 360, and any Xbox console forward can play these older games. So Xbox is the place you're going to want to play these games. And I was stuck in a lobby for like 10 minutes and I found a few people, but I couldn't, well, there weren't enough to make a game. So I was just waiting there. And that's when I had to open up Plutonium on the old PC. The only problem with Plutonium is that the lobbies aren't as genuine as the ones you'd have on console. The multiplayer is good for the price. The only issue is finding a lobby. Who knows, maybe I went on at the wrong time. You should be able to find some sort of lobbies and player base playing it. It says there's 500 people online, and I'm assuming that's going to be accurate enough. And don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting instant lobbies, but if you do play this multiplayer, the peak you're going to find is Team Deathmatch, and there's not much variety in the game modes itself. But overall, Black Ops 1 still holds up and is a very fun multiplayer game, and the player base wasn't a massive factor. I would say yes, 100% get it for the multiplayer. But if you're getting it for both the multiplayer and the campaign, you can't really lose. The campaign is always going to hold its own quality. But the way you're going to get most for your money is with the zombies. With Black Ops 1 zombies, you get 3 kind of maps. You get Keenan der Toten, you get 5, and then you get Dead Ops Arcade. Dead Ops Arcade is kind of its own game mode type thing, kind of based in zombies. It's a fun archaic style game mode, and you know, you could have like a little bit of fun with this, but it's not my favorite piece of COD zombie media of all time. Talking about the base maps themselves, Keenan der Toten, we all know this map. It's a very easy map. You have the thunder gun, you have traps, you have your perks. A very good map if you're just starting out in zombies and want to, you know, practice and get better. And for £1.50 from CEX, you can't really argue with that. 5, on the other hand, is a little bit more challenging, and as time's gone on, a lot of the community actually prefer 5 for the more challenging aspect of it. There's a lot less traps, the wonder weapon, the Winter's Howl, is awful, and the Pentagon Thief is an asshole. But this map can definitely make for some funny moments with your friends, or if you're just playing by yourself, it's a good map to learn to get better at zombies. Now is the perfect time to bring up the DLC portion of this game. For the multiplayer, I would say it's not that worth it, because the player base that does play the multiplayer don't really have DLC maps. But it is worth it for zombies, where you'll get 4 additional zombie maps, and on top of that as well, you'll get 4 remakes from World at War. So breaking down the 4 new maps, you're going to have Ascension, and this map is super easy. It's a fun enough map, not the best map in the game. It does offer a very open playstyle where there's a lot of places to run around and practice training. And it is quite a unique map. When you load in, it's black and white. You have PhD Flopper on this map. The transport system is very unique and something we hadn't really seen in zombies up until this point. So yeah, I would say this map is definitely worth it. Along with Call of the Dead, it's definitely one of the best maps of all time, with George Romero and just the overall uniqueness of the map with its celebrity cast as well. This map is definitely a lot more challenging than the past few maps. There's not any traps in the map, so you can't kill zombies infinitely because the wonder weapon, the scavenger, does drop off into the early to late 50s. But yet again, a really fun map, along with Shangri-La, which is very challenging, but as time's gone on, I enjoyed this map more and more, and this is probably the most difficult map in Black Ops 1 Zombies, but if you learn it, you'll be pretty good. And then Moon's Moon, it's a good map. It has a very gimmicky mechanic with its gravity, and being on the moon, low gravity, makes for a change in the gameplay in certain areas of the map. But with that DLC, you'll also have access to Nakter and Toten Remastered, Verrückt Remastered, Shinonuma Remastered, and then of course Der Reese Remastered. Black Ops 1 Zombies is one of the best values for money, I would say, other than Zombie Chronicles. And if you are a die-hard fan of COD Zombies, I'd have to recommend you buying Black Ops 1 for Zombies, even now since it's so cheap. Don't get me wrong, DLC can vary on price depending what platform you're on. As long as you're not paying full price for DLC, I would say it's worth it. So to conclude this video, Black Ops 1 in 2025, is it worth it? For campaign and zombies, 100%. For multiplayer, it just varies so much on platform and the player base. On PC, I would just outright say no for this, because you have alternatives like Plutonium. But for Xbox, I would say, yeah, it's probably worth it. You will find lobbies. They just might not be as populated as other COD games. Let me know if you're going to buy it, subscribe for more reviews, and watch this video here where we take a deep dive into Call of Duty Ghosts DLC.